Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player, a guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. The best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the 4th quarter.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Ryan. And incomplete. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Open is Swain, the tight end. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Bobby Wagner's one of the more fluid middle linebackers in the NFL, able to range deep in coverage, also able to rush the quarterback both inside and off the edge, and is an absolute tackling machine in the running game.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that's going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They run. Devontae Freeman. Freeman was trying to work his way forward, but I don't think he got there. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 3rd down, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run here with Freeman. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Again, it'll be Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead grows to 10-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason. And we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
Give them 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson, flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Chester Rogers, 40 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. 10-6 the score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. Roberts got it. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Wilson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
What? 315.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard. The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second quarter score, meanwhile, down in Arizona. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
from midfield now. Here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They run the counter. It's Carson, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he stays up. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 21. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, we might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Let him know, let him know.
Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 31, Ryan Roberts has it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit us. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we've reached halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He can run. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Guys, game situation. Let's go. Check.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Ryan. And that's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Ryan to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
We got this.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Here we go, D. All day.
They run the counter. It's Carson, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before it could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense.
And he loses the football a 2nd time.
That's it. Big hit.
Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Keep putting that ball on the ground.
So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down. They'll run on first down. Carson. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On second down, here's Penny, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll toss it out to Carson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Escaping the press. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley able to run him down for a loss of 18 yards, and it will be 4th down as well. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that, because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, 3rd quarter in Denver. And the Rams have opened it up to lead by a couple of touchdowns now. Jared Goff with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. There's Britton Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Returnable for Lockett. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First play of the drive, a first down run. That sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Check 45 to Mike. Check down.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Wilson got Gordon open, completes it. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Throwing is Wilson. And he's got Rodgers. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. Wilson now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They run again with Carson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That is his 951st NFL reception. So 49 away from 1,000, but 951. That ties him with Andre Reed.
Oh, I love the trigger there because Andre Reed caught the ball any part of the field, is specialized in traffic, similar to what we've seen throughout his career as well. Does not mind going across the middle and making big-time catches.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Ryan. Caught by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Ryan now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Open is Swain, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. He's got it over the middle to Jeff Swain. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Go, go, go.
2nd down and goal. Ryan looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's the fullback taking it in as his guys are able to pull a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
This will be fielded at the 6. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? There's always one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they'll run it again with Penny. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Mike, 45. They were pretty quiet. He was pretty quiet.
On first down, Carson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
2 times. Hey, 4 down.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Penny. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.